Hello everyone, my name is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel Take Journey with Ankit. In today's video, we will explore another LWC coding interview question that has been asked to one of my friend and he have shared with me. In this video, we will not go over the question, but we will see how you can implement those questions in the real time as well. So please stay tuned by the end of this video where we will be going with the step-by-step approach for implementing this interview question. Before we check out this interview question, in case you folks like to have connect with me, you can subscribe my YouTube channel. You can also connect with me on the top mate as well. If you scan this QR code or click on the link which is available in the video description, you will be navigated to this page where there are two options. Option number one, to have one-to-one connect with me to discuss your Salesforce queries in case any challenges that you are getting in the Salesforce learning, we can have that discussion here. Moreover, you can also explore few of the digital products that I'm putting up on my channel, which is respect to the data cloud, with respect to the LWC notes and the code base, admin foundation, as well as the interview prep guide as well. Here I talk specifically about the interview prep guide. The reason being, the code that we will be building in today's session will be available with this interview prep guide. Not only that, this interview prep guide have more than 400 plus questions as well as the detailed answers with the multiple examples on the different modules of the Salesforce, including the admin, Apex, integration, flows, LWCs, as well as the scenario-based questions too. This guide is designed with for the freshers, even for the experienced professionals as well. All the videos that I have developed in this particular series, and if I'm not wrong, today I'll be creating the 13th or the 14th video on this particular playlist. For everything, the code will be available in this interview prep guide as well. Moreover, in case you folks have followed my LWC Bootcamp and want to access the notes as well as the code that I have developed in my bootcamp, you can go and explore this LWC notes as well. Few other guides, as I said, with respect to the data cloud and the admin, which is updated as per the latest release of the Salesforce, you can also go and download and explore from the top map. Moreover, you can also check out my new Udemy course that I have published, which is based on the admin and the developer project. In this project, I am building a car rental app and I am demonstrating how you can use the different modules of the Salesforce. Again, starting from the admin, which is very basic, then moving towards the flows, where I will be creating the lots of complex flows using the screen flow or the record trigger flow, scheduled flow, auto launch flows, and then I will be moving to the triggers, followed by the integrations and the lightning web component. In this project, I tried to demonstrate how in the real world enterprises build their project, how they go and effectively use the framework as well. So definitely worth a project in case you are looking for something where you can practice all the real-time skills to take your learning to the next level. So do check out this Udemy course as well. I can assure you, you will definitely feel a worth once you go and finish each and everything that I have explained in this course. Coming back to the scenario that we have to discuss for today, the problem statement here is we have to go and create a Lightning Web component where we will be displaying all the accounts and at least one open case. So we have to go and display all accounts, but the condition here is the account must at least have one open case. Then we have to display those details under one data table where there will be two columns. One is the account name and the open case count. From this data table, what the business is asking is user can select only one account at a time, and upon selecting the account, another data table should appear where all the open cases related to that account should appear. Here, user can select the multiple cases from that list and then click a close case button. So first, the user will be selecting the accounts which is having the open cases. Once selecting the account, all the open cases related to that account should be populated, and there should be one action button with the name of close case. As soon as user clicked on that close case button, then the chosen cases status should be updated to closed, and the data table should refresh the updated open case count now. So this is what we have to build. So the UI for this should come up something like this, where you have to go and display the account names along with the open cases. As soon as user is selecting one of the account, then we have to go and show the related cases for that account. And then here you should have the button on the click of which you will be putting up all the close selected cases. So how you can go and design this kind of a utility from the scratch? As I said, we will go and perform the step-by-step approach to get this done. So let me go and open my query editor, sorry, open my VS Code here to go and build this application. So very first thing what I will do in my application here is I will go and create a Apex class which is responsible to go and get the accounts with the open cases. So here I go and create an Apex class. Name of the Apex class here is the account case management controller. Right, in this Apex class, I will be creating the Aura enabled method. So at the rate Aura enabled method, right? And here I'll be putting the public static void and get account with open cases. This is my method name. Here I will be getting the accounts along with the open cases, right? So to do that, I have to first go and prepare my query. Let's go and write down this query in the either in the developer console, or you can use the Salesforce inspector tool, whatever you are comfortable with. I'm more comfortable with the inspector tool. So here I'll be writing down my query, select ID, comma, account, sorry, ID, comma, name from account. So I will be getting all the accounts now, then I should be getting all the related cases. So select ID from cases, right? So I'll be getting all the related cases, but I'm interested in only those cases which are open. So here I will be putting where is closed is equal to false. Now I'll be getting the accounts along with the related cases which are having the status as which are having the closing status as false. So you can see I'm having all those multiple records. But in addition to that, I also have the accounts which does not have any cases as well. I don't want to access those kind of an account which does not have the cases. So here I will be adding my filter condition. So where I'll be selecting only those accounts, putting the select account ID from case where again the same condition is closed is equal to false. So I'll be selecting only those accounts from my case object. So using this in condition, I'm adding that filter criteria and getting only those accounts which are having the cases. So this is how my query looks like, which is giving me the accounts along with the related cases. Right? Again, if you want to go and sort by the order name and all those things, you can definitely do that, but there are no specific asks. So let's not go and do this. I'm copying this and storing this result into the for loop. Okay, let's go and access this result with the for loop, and here I am having my query. Right now, what I need to return here is the two things. First one here is account name, and second one here is the count of cases. Whenever you have to return more than one thing from your Apex class, you generally take the help of the wrapper. So here again, what I will be doing, I will be creating one wrapper class. In that wrapper class, I will be populating the four things. What all four things? Let me go and put my wrapper class here. Right? So account with case count, there are four fields that I am populating here. First one here is the account ID, whatever the ID that we are accessing. Second thing is the account name. Why account name? Because here in the output, I have to go and display the account name. That's why I'm getting the account name. After that, the count of the cases, and finally the URL. What I want to show you here is how you can make this particular link clickable as well, right? And for that, I am adding here another field with the name of account URL. Right now, let's go and iterate over this and populate this wrapper like this. I'm taking the help of the IntelliSense again, putting the account with the case count. I am creating the instance of this variable, populating the account ID, followed by the account name, followed by the open case count. How I can get the open case count? acc.cases. What it will return me the list of record. And from those list of record, we know that whenever we have to get the size or we have to count the total number of records present in that collection, we take the help of the size method. This is how we are getting the open cases count. And finally, we have to go and generate the URL. The easiest way to generate the URL here is we have to simply add the slash and then appended that with the account ID. Rest of the things Salesforce will take care. This is the only thing that you have to do if you have to go and generate the URL in the Apex. Okay, so now whatever the output that I do have, because there will be more than one record, let me go and define one list variable to go and store that output. And finally, in that list variable, I am adding the records as well. Once everything has been done, once my for loop has been processed, here I go and return the list of records. So let me go and change my return type here. Instead of the void, here I'll be putting the list of open case count. Another thing, I want to invoke this method with the help of wire decorator. So I need to make sure that here I'll be putting the uh, cache cacheable equal to true as well. So very simple method that I have created is in which I am getting the accounts along with the related cases. Now let's go and display these details on the table as well. So let me go and first deploy this, and I will be creating the Lightning Web Component now with the name of account case management. Make sure whenever you are creating the Lightning Web Component, it always starts with the lowercase. And here I do have my Lightning Web Component created. Now in this Lightning Web Component, we'll go and perform the first thing, that is we go and fetch the records from our Apex class. So let's perform the import operation here. Import, I am invoking the Apex class to go and get the relative records. Then to call this method, here I will be using the wire decorator. So let me go and import the wire decorator, sorry, from the LWC module, and then with @wire, I will be invoking this method. Right now, the next thing that I need to do here is I have to go and display this data in the on the data table as well. So navigating here to the HTML file, here I will be adding a lightning card. Sorry, let me correct the spell. Lightning card. Putting a title here as the account case management. Right, if you want to add the icon for the standard case, you can always go and do that, or if you want to add the icon for the account, that also you can do. Right, so this is how I am adding my lightning card. After that, let me go and give the heading here. For example, here I'll be using the h3 class, and to give the heading, uh, yeah, we can use the SLDS classes. So here I am putting the heading as accounts with the open cases. And now to display the data, here I will be using the Lightning data table. In my past videos, I have explained this multiple times. Before you go and check, put the values into the data table, you should always check whether the data has been loaded or not. So how you can check if the data has been loaded or not? By checking the data property of this. So here I will be using template LWC if mm, account with the open cases. If this is available, right? If the data is available, then and then only what we should do, we should go and load the data into the data table. So here I will be using Lightning. Again, in case you don't know the syntax for the Lightning data table, you can always navigate to the component library and you can look for the data table here. Okay, so let me go and copy this directly from here. This is how my data table will look like. So here I go copy and paste the data table. Now, what is the key field using which you can identify the row? In my scenario, the key field is coming up with the name of account ID. So here I go and put the account ID. After that, your data, it is available in which variable. So here I do have my data. Make sure that you are putting under the LWC list followed by the property name followed by the data. So here again I am putting the same thing. This is where I do have my data. And after that, the next thing that I need to go and put up here is a column name. So here I am putting the column name as account columns, and we'll go and define that columns in our JavaScript file. Okay, so I will come back to this, how you can go and define those columns later. But there's one more thing that we have to do here is, as I said, as they mentioned in the problem statement, again, if I take you here, they mention that only one account can be selected at a time from this table. So how you can make this restriction of only one account type can be selected from this table? For that, you have to go and use an additional attribute here, that is the max row selection, and here you have to set this to 1. And as soon as the row has been selected, I want to execute an action. So here I'll be using the handle row select on row selection event as well, because I need to go and identify whatever the row has been selected to fetch the related cases. That's why what I am doing here is, here I am accessing those maximum row selection to. Okay, so I'm defining the LWC if. Here I am having the account ID followed by the data, then the columns to make sure only one row has been selected. This attribute has been added, and as soon as the row has been selected, I want to perform the operation. So here I have added the event, that is the handle row selection event. Now coming to the column structure, in my column, I want there should be two things. First one here is the account name, and second one here is the open cases of the account. They have mentioned here, right? Account name and the open cases account. These should be the two columns that we have to go and display. So navigating to the lightning data table, how they really go and display the column. So this is the structure of the column. So let me go and copy that structure from here, and let me go and make the changes in our JavaScript. So this is where I do have my structure. Now the first label that they want here, it should be the account name. The field name for the account name, it is should be coming up from the attribute, that is the account name. But again, we also want this should be the URL as well. So what I am doing here is, here I do have the attribute available for the URL. So here I'll be putting the field name, here is the account URL. I am putting up here is the type is equal to URL, right? And then under this URL type, what should be the name, right? So that you will go and define with an additional attribute, that is the type attributes, right? So what you will be using here is the type attribute to go and specify what you want to display under that particular type. So here I am putting the type attributes label. I want to put the field name here as the account name. Now this is the name that I want to use up here. So let me go and paste that name, and the target blank means whatever the new record that will open, it will open in a new tab. So this is how I am defining all the attributes here for the account name. Let me go and add another attribute, that is the open case count, and let me go and get rid of all of this, right? My field name for the open case count here is the open case count, that is itself a field name, and for this I want the type should be the number. So let me go and specify here. Here I am putting the type as the number. So this is how I want the data should be coming up. Again, we don't use the let, so let me get rid of it, right? This is how I want the data should be coming up on my first table. One more thing that I am doing here is, on the HTML file, as soon as the row has been selected, I am invoking the event with the name of handle row selection. So let me navigate to the JavaScript file and define that event as well. How to handle that event? Again, let me take you to the documentation, because the good part about the LWC here is you don't have to remember anything. Here you can see on row selection, what they are doing, they are invoking the method, and in this example they have given how you can access those details about the selected row. So I also want to do the same thing. I also want to access the details about the selected row. So here again I go and put this const selected row, so that I can go and access that details as well. Right now the next thing here is, this selected rows, typically it will return you the array. Here you can see they are having the array and they are iterating over the array. what we are interested here is only in the one single record because my user can only go and select the one single thing. So what I will do here is, so here I'll be putting let row is equal to, from the selected rows, I am getting the first record like this. And then the different things that I have to go and access and put it at the property level, that is the selected account ID, right? And also let me get the selected account name as well. Okay, so how you can do that? So here I'll be putting this dot selected account ID is equal to the row dot account ID and followed by the selected dot account name is equal to the row dot account name. And once I go and fetch all those details, right? I believe we are good at this moment. Now let's go and test it out till this part. We'll go and validate whether this row has been coming up as correctly or not before we go and write down the logic to go and fetch the related cases. So let me go and expose this component to the app builder. To expose that component to the app builder, you have to go and specify the targets along with the is exposed attribute to true. So here again I do the same thing. Here I am changing is exposed to true and defining the target here is app page, record page, and the home page. Let me go and deploy this component here. Let's navigate to the org and add that component on the UI. So let's navigate here. Navigate to the one of the application and refresh the page. Navigating to one of the application here, we'll go and try to add that. This is something that we have built in the last video, where we'll be populating all the real-time cases with the help of the platform event. But in case you guys want to check out the implementation, you should definitely check out the last video. And now here I want to add the component that is the uh, account case management. So let me go and look for this account case management. Let me go and remove this component for the time being. And I'm dragging and dropping that component here. Clicking on save. Navigating back. Okay, one thing that is not happening here is I'm getting the account, but I'm not getting, okay, I'm getting the values as well, but they are coming up to the extreme right. You can see. So if you want those values, it should be coming up into the left, then you have to go and add the cell alignment. Okay, so for that, what you have to do here is you have to navigate to your JavaScript columns one more time, and here you should go and add the cell attribute now. Okay, so cell attributes, and here you will go and specify the alignment as the left so that it will come up on the left hand side. That's fine, it is just more a UI thing. Let me go and check if I'm selecting the row whether the value has been coming up correctly in my console or not. Here if I'm selecting this particular row, here you can see that I am getting the record along with the case count. That means my row has been selected correctly and the things are working very well here. Now, as soon as the record has been selected, the next ask was we have to go and make another API call using which we can go and fetch the related cases, right? So based on the account ID, right, what we have to do, we have to go and fetch the related cases. So what I will be doing, I will be populating, I will be creating another Apex method which is responsible to get that data. So this was the first method. Now let me go and add another method, public static, and what I need to return here is the list of cases using which I will be getting all the cases that the user has selected. So putting here the list of case, and method name here is the get cases by account ID, right? So what the user will be sending me here is the account ID, and I need to go and get those cases. But while getting the case, I need to make sure that I am only getting those cases which is having the status as close status as false, right? So here I am adding that condition as well. And now I do get all the records along with this ID. So again, this method needs to be invoked with the help of wire decorator. So again, I am making this as an aura enabled too. Okay. Now let me go and deploy this. Navigating to the JavaScript file. Now I am making another wire decorator invoked. For that, let me first go and perform the import operation here. So here I'll be putting the import get cases by account ID. And what I am doing here is I will be invoking this method again with the help of wire decorator, right? And this time, again, before while I'm invoking the method, I have to also go and pass the parameters as well. So I want this method should be invoked as soon as the account ID has been changed. So the parameter that this method is expecting here is the account ID. As soon as this has been changed, I want this method should be invoked. For that, I need to make this as a reactive. So to make it reactive, here you have to use the dollar and the variable based on the change of which you want this should be populated, that is the selected account ID. So what I'm saying here is as soon as the record has been selected, this variable will be populated. As this variable will be populated, my wire decorator will invoke and this method will return me the list of cases. So here I do have all the cases. Now the same thing we have to do again one more time. I need to go and display these cases with the help of the HTML file on the UI. So again, I'm navigating here. Where is that HTML file? And on my HTML file, we'll go and put the logic to go and display the related cases. Okay, so I'll be checking for the two things here. So this is good. The first thing that I'll be checking here is if the selected account ID is there. If the user have selected the account ID, right? Then with the help of another lightning table where I'll be putting the title here as the account name. So here you can see I already stored the account name. So with the help of this title, I'll be showing here the list of cases. Here I should go and change the icon name to account because I am displaying the list of account there. And here I will go and put the icon name here as the cases because I need to go and display the list of cases here, right? Here I go and do this. One more thing that I need to do in my lightning card here is I have to go, I'm putting here the title here as the open cases. Okay. And then I will be adding here the displaying the cases data. So again, I'll be checking whether the cases data is available or not. Again, the same steps that we have done previously. So navigating to the HTML file, here I'll be looking for the template template LWC if is equal to cases dot data, and then here I'll be putting the lightning data table along with the same structure. So here I'll be returning the ID where I should be in the capital case because the key field needs to be specified in the correct case, followed by the data. My data is available in the cases.data and followed by the columns here. Moreover, what I need to do here is I need to make sure that whenever the user is making any selection, so I should execute the action. So again, the same thing here also I will go and use the handle row selection here. So here I'll be giving the method name as cases row selection, right? As soon as the user is selecting something, then I have to go and execute the cases. That's what I am doing up here. So this is my cases.data. This looks good. Right. Till here, I believe we are good. So first, let's go and define the case column structure. So navigating to the JavaScript file, the way we have defined the account columns, similarly, we have to also go and define the case column structure as well. So what all different things that you want to display under the case column, I'm simply copying and pasting because it's a repeated task. There is nothing new that I am doing up here, right? So this is how the case column structure will look like, where I'll be putting the case number and whatever the fields that you are putting up under the field name, right? You have to make sure you are fetching all those fields. So if I am fetching the case number, answer to this is no. Let me go and add the case number here, right? Next thing, subject. Yes, I am fetching the subject. Next thing here is the status. Yes, priority. I don't need this. So let me add the priority here. After that, uh, I don't want to display all those additional details to increase the complexity at this moment because they have not specifically asked what all different columns should be displayed. So here I am only displaying the case number, subject, status, and the priority from the case along with the IDs. Yeah, only these are the columns that I want to get displayed here. So I am good till now. Case columns along with the account columns. Right now, the next thing that I have defined in my HTML file on the row selection, here I am having the cases row selection. But are they? Yes, we have to go and get the selected rows as well. So this is my method, right, where I can have all the selected cases. So again, the same way you can go and access the selected rows from the event. Here again, I am doing the same thing. I am accessing the selected rows as well. Right now, from these rows, what I am interested here is the ID of the cases. I'm not interested in all those things. I am only interested in the ID. So what I will do here is I will go and iterate over this using the map method, and I'm accessing the current item. And for each item, what I want to access here is the current item.id. So what this method map method will return me, this map method will return me the selected case IDs. So let me go and put up here selected case IDs. Okay. And here I am initializing with an empty array. And here I will go and put this dot selected case IDs. Whatever the rows that user is selecting, I am iterating over all these rows and getting the selected case IDs with this step. Now, what I need to do, as they mentioned in the problem statement, that we should also have one close case button as well. On the click of this close case button, we have to go and perform the operation to go and close the cases, right? So what I will do here is, let me navigate to my org, navigating to the lightning card first, because I have to go and add the button. I'll be taking the help of the card because in the card there's a provision to add the button here, and to add that button, sorry, I'm navigating to the lightning, and to add that button here you have to go and specify the slot is equal to action. So I'll be defining the button like this on my lightning card as they have done in their documentation. So under this lightning card here I am adding the button, and I am giving the label of that button here as the close cases, as simple as this, right? Moreover, I want this button should be enabled. I don't want this button should be enabled always. I want this button should be enabled only and only when the user is selecting the case, right? For example, if no case has been selected, then there is no logic to go and enable this button. So what I want here is, let me go and put down here, I want this button should be enabled. So here I'm adding one attribute with the name of disabled attribute, where I'm saying that you should go and enable this button only and only if the user is making any selection. So here I'll be putting is closed cases has been selected. Another attribute that I want to add here is the variant attribute. Sorry, I missed this colons. Another attribute that I want to add here is the variant attribute with the name of brand. And finally, here I do have the on click method, on the click of which we will be closing all the cases. Right, so this is how my button will look like. So there are few additional attributes that I have added here. The first one here is the disabled. Again, I want to define the getter function for this one because dynamically I want to make the decision whether the cases should be closed or it should not be closed. So let me go and add the getter function here. So putting the get followed by the method name. Now what this method will check, this method will check if the length is not equal to 0. Sorry, if the length is equal to 0, then it will return true. That means the button will be disabled. If this selected case IDs that I do have, if this length is 0, then this button will be disabled. In case the selected IDs are not 0, then that button will not be disabled. So based on this length attribute only, we are making the decision whether the button should be enabled or disabled. Now the next thing that we have to do, navigating here, and implementing this function, that is the handle close case. But again, before we directly go and implement this, let's take a pause and validate how my UI is coming up now, whether it is showing me all those cases or not. Okay. So here I go and deploy this. I can validate whether my button is correctly enabled or not and all those things. So navigating to the HTML file, getting some error there. Okay, the error says that the lightning data table is not closed. So let me go and close the lightning data table and deploying it one more time. I will also, lightning card is not also closed. Lightning button is closed. Template is closed. Okay, sorry. This lightning card, it should be closed above. My bad. So I am closing this lightning card as well. I started writing down the code inside the lightning card, and because of which it was a mess. Okay, so yes, everything should be available in the first card, and the next thing should be available inside this template condition. So let me check. This is closed. This template, this also needs to be closed. Now it looks good, right? So my lightning card is closing. After that, my template is getting started. Inside my template, I am having another lightning card. This template will come up only and only when user is making any selection. Then I do have my button, I do have my H3 tag, I do have my another template, and then I do have my lightning data table. So this looks good. Let me go and deploy this. And also I am deploying my Apex class as well, because we have made few changes in the Apex class too. So navigating to the JavaScript, this is the controller, and let me go and deploy this Apex class as well. Let's navigate to the org and validate if everything is coming up as expected. So clearing the cache, refreshing the page. So I do have the accounts along with the open case count. Now you can see it is left aligned as well. If I'm making the selection for this, here you can see my other card is coming. Card name is the name of the selected account. It is showing me all the open cases, right? And it can allow me the selection of the multiple records. As of now, the button is disabled because I have not selected any record. If I start selecting, here you can see my button is enabled, right? Even if I go and unselect everything, again my button is disabled. So the things are working as expected, right, for my lightning data tables and for my both the lightning data tables. Right now, the one last thing that we have to do, whatever the rows that we are selecting, we have to go and perform the close operation, right? So let's go and write down the logic to do this. For that, I will be navigating here and I will be adding another method. You can also do that under Lightning Web Component as well, but I prefer to add another method which is responsible to go and close this method. As we have to perform the DML operation, this method will not be cacheable equal to true. What I will be doing in this method here is I will be expecting the list of cases IDs, right? And so here I'll be putting public static. Let me put up here as a string and close selected cases. And as I said, what I'm expecting here in this method here is the list of ID, that is the case IDs list. And then you can iterate over this list, create the case records, and perform the update operation. So here I'll be going and putting up for ID, case ID of the case ID list. Right here, I'll be creating the instance of the case object, right? And I'm putting here the status as closed. So case object, right, is equal to this, but we don't perform the DML operations into the loop. So I am creating here the list of case list is equal to new list of case. And then under this case list, I will be adding the case object. And finally, outside the loop, I will be performing the DML operation. So putting the try catch block, performing the update operation, returning the success. In the case of exception, here I will be returning the exception.ex.get message, right? Or if you want to throw the exception, that also you can do. It's completely your choice how you want to do this, right? So I'm in the case of success, I'm returning the update operation. In the case of delete, I'll be performing the delete operation. Now my update operation has been done. Let me go and deploy this method as well. Navigating back to the JavaScript, I will be importing another method to perform the operation. So here I'll go and put import close selected cases. This is the method that I have created, which is responsible to perform the closure. And the next thing that I need to do here is I will be invoking this method. So to invoke this method, I will be doing this with the help of async await. So here I'm putting the async, and then I'll be putting up here the try block, putting the try catch, invoking this method await close selected cases, right? Here I'll be putting the await followed by the close selecting cases. Now, in case anything has been failed, right? Then what we have to do? We have to go and we have to go and display the error message or the success message. So again, to display the messages, either the success or the error, like we always do, our favorite thing, perform the toast event, platform show toast event, navigating here, importing the show toast event, coming back here. This is the method which is responsible to display the messages. So here I go and put that show toast where I'm accepting the few things like the title, message, as well as the variant, right? And here I'm changing this from get help to title. Message is from the input message that I am getting, and finally the variant as well. This is how I am displaying the message. Variant is an additional attribute that you have to add, which is not available in this method. Variant is something which will define what should be the background color of your message, right? So in the case of error, here I am displaying the error message. So putting up here this dot show toast error dot body dot message, right? And I believe for this, it's better if you go and through the exception as well. Uh, but here, in the case of success, I am displaying the success message as well. Now, the next thing that we have to do, this is very important. As soon as the operation has been successful, that means you have successfully refreshed you have successfully closed the cases. Then what you have to do, you have to go and refresh the two data here. First, you have to go and refresh the data from the cases related point of view, and also you have to go and refresh the data related to the accounts as well to display the correct count. So what I'll be doing here is, as soon as I am having the success operation, first I am clearing it out what all the cases that has been selected, because on those cases the job has been done. The next thing that I will be doing here is I will be calling here the refresh apex method. Why refresh apex? Because with the help of refresh apex, you can go and ask the framework to invoke the apex again and get the updated data. And for that, you have to go and import the refresh apex from the Salesforce apex. And then here I will be invoking the method that is the await refresh apex, and here I will be passing the cases. After that, here I am using the refresh apex and I am passing here the account with the cases. So the parameter that we have to pass here is the property of your wire decorator, right? First, I am refreshing the cases. After that, I am refreshing the account with the open cases. Both the parameters here is the output of the wire decorator that you do have, right? I hope it is clear, right, how you can go and get this done. In case you want to also clear the selection that is done on the UI, although they have not explicitly mentioned, but in case you want to go and clear the selection on the UI, then you can use the help of the template.query selector. We'll see the behavior and then we will decide whether we have to go and perform those additional operations to clear the selection on the UI as well. So again, I am deploying my changes. I'm deploying my Apex class one more time and will validate whether it is coming up as expected or not. So navigating here, refreshing the page. All right, and performing the selection, I am getting all the three cases. The status is new. Here I am making the selection for two of them and selecting the option of close cases. Here you can see both the tables got refreshed. Now it is showing only the one case, and also my first table got refreshed where it is showing that now there is only one. So I hope you folks got the understanding how we can work with the refresh Apex here. So in this example, there are lots of learnings that we have done. We have understood how to invoke the Apex, how to perform the DML operations on the Apex from the Lightning Web component. We discussed how to play with the Lightning data table to go and get the data that we are looking for. Do let me know your learnings from this video in your comment section, and please also convey me if you found this particular video helpful or not. For the time being, thank you. Have a good time.